Hi, my name is Lauren, and this is my Science Sustainability Capstone project. In this video, I will discuss the environmental effects of meat production and how lab-grown meat could be a more sustainable and cruelty-free alternative to raising livestock. Have you ever noticed just how many people eat regular hamburger meat on a daily basis? I'm sure you've noticed this. Just by going to my local In-N-Out, I was able to see long lines of people in the fast food restaurant, and every single table was filled. Now that we're in quarantine, I'm still able to see long lines of cars going through the In-N-Out drive-thru. Some people might not know just how many resources go into these burgers that affect the environment. Raising cows takes up large amounts of water, land, and feed, and releases greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane. Land is used both for creating pastures and is needed to grow food for the animals. According to Business Insider, the quarter pound of beef used in a burger is equal to 14.6 gallons of water. This data includes the amount of water the cows drink and the water required to irrigate the crops they eat. In the United Nations Sustainable Goals, they aim to ensure the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. According to their website, 71% of the global population, 5.2 billion people, had safely managed drinking water in 2015, but 844 million people still lacked even basic drinking water. Another way meat production affects water is when manure is stored in large manure lagoons and sprayed on nearby fields as fertilizer, but the land cannot absorb that much waste. The spray fields run off and lagoons leak or fail, polluting both surface waters and groundwater. Water has also been polluted by runoff from millions of pounds of pesticides and billions of pounds of fertilizer. The same study from Business Insider states that 13.5 pounds of feed are used for a quarter pound of beef. A quarter pound of beef would produce 0.126 pounds of methane, which the Environmental Protection Agency estimates is about 20 times as potent as carbon dioxide. Cows produce methane through a digestive process called enteric fermentation. Then they belch that methane into the atmosphere. The main United Nations Sustainable Development Goal I want to focus on in my project is climate action, which focuses on taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. This would mean decreasing greenhouse gas emissions, which meat production is a large part of. According to another study, the annual American appetite for beef produces 337 billion pounds of carbon dioxide emissions per year, which is the same amount produced by 32.3 million cars. It would also take up 64.5 square feet of land in order to grow the feedstuff. I propose that we integrate lab-grown meat into our diets as a replacement for meat cultivated from slaughtering livestock, in order to combat the impacts meat production has on the environment. Once lab-grown meat has been refined enough to have the same taste and texture as meat from livestock, that will hopefully convince people that we need to switch to lab-grown meat in order to help the environment. Lab-grown meat will not require as much resources as livestock and is environmentally friendly, in addition to not being as cruel to animals. The first hamburger patty grown in a lab cost $300,000 to develop in 2013. And as of then, a quarter pound of the ground beef cost $600. However, since then, companies such as Just have been working to refine their making of lab-grown meat to be available to regular consumers. Another challenge these companies have been facing is to match the texture and taste of the meat exactly to meat grown in an animal. However, if lab-grown meat is released to the public and becomes a staple of our diet instead of meat grown in an animal, it will not only limit climate change, but it also comes with a lot of financial gain, and it is an ethical alternative to slaughtering livestock. It also will save more resources for those in hunger because they will not need to use as much food and water to feed animals. Also, raising livestock takes up a lot of land, so there will be more space in the country. Scientists have been working to meet these challenges, and just recently, according to Seeker, researchers at Harvard announced that they have developed a technique that makes the texture of meat more realistic. The researchers were trying to mimic skeletal muscle tissue in long, thin fibers, since you can't grow muscles in that fiber structure in a petri dish all by themselves because the cells need something to latch onto as they grow. The scientists used gelatin by spinning it into fibers in order to replace skeletal muscle tissue for the cells to attach to. Some other solutions to the environmental effects of industrial meat production are by eating vegan meat that imitates real meat, such as with the Impossible Burger, or by just going for a fully vegan diet with no imitation meat. Some pros to eating imitation meat are that you are not eating meat from industrial production, and it offers an alternative to meat that may taste like meat. However, some cons to eating imitation meat are that people like to say that it is not as tasty as the real thing, and it may have a lot of unhealthy additives, fat, and salt. The pros to eating fully vegan without meat is that your diet may be healthier and you are not eating the meat from industrial production. However, some people may disagree with this option because they think that having meat in your meal is tastier and that it would be harder to balance your diet without meat. To rectify the downside to these other solutions, I think that perfecting lab-grown meat and releasing it into regular consumer markets is the best solution. Now I am reaching the end of this video. I hope it taught you a lot of information about how meat production affects the environment and about the potential solutions to that problem. Thank you for watching.